Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Tayler Yarish Show. How's it going? How's it hanging? It's Sunday night. It's a beautiful fucking night. I've waited till 9:30 to do this because I was just out. It was just a beautiful, beautiful day. Just one of those days where you want to sit outside with a six pack and just really just pound it down and sit in the grass and just have a grand old time. I was walking around Tompkins Square Park today. It's a park in the East Village, and it's one of the most interesting parks in New York because during the day, it's beautiful. All the young people are out. Everybody who lives in the East Village who's like 18 years old and their parents pay for their apartment. They just live in the greatest location and they flock to the East Village and they sit out in the grass and they read like some, Jane Austen novel, and then there's like somebody playing guitar and they had a hat out and there's money, there's like a little like a ping pong table, like a cement ping pong table, and you bring your own paddles and you just play, and there's a public restroom and everyone's just having a grand old time, people walking around, soft serve, all that. And then at night it's a heroin den. And I don't know when the switch happened. I've never like seen the actual switch, but there is a switch that happens where it's all fun and games. Maybe it's just when the sun finally goes down and the needles come out. But yeah, it was a beautiful day. I was walking around and there was like some metal band fucking concert going on, and everyone seemed to be having a grand old time. I was by myself, so I just looked like a weirdo. I was just walking around. I took a picture. Somebody probably thought I was like taking a picture of them. I wasn't. If you're listening, they're not. Yeah, it was a wonderful day. Just like one of those days where you feel like drinking out in the sun, and I didn't. I drank a lot last night, and a lot for me now is like 3 beers. I already have an issue with beer because I don't know how to burp. I physically can't do it. I've probably talked about it before. It's some kind of issue, something in the throat, some weak muscle. I don't know. There's only like 3 doctors in the world that know what it is, and you need to get like Botox shot into your neck or something. So I'll never get that fixed. No insurance. What can you do? So yeah, I had 3 beers last night. Didn't get drunk, but I did get full, and that's a good time. That's what you want when you go out to drink. And I normally don't go with beer, but everybody was having beer, and you don't want to look like the one degenerate who's like, doing 3 fingers of whiskey at the table, and everyone's just trying to have a good time. A nice little mellow hangout session. And it was good. So didn't do anything physical. I've been slacking on my physical exercise ever since I did my race. You ever like do something really physically hard and then you're like, I'm going to treat myself, but then you treat yourself for like 2.5 weeks, and every night, you slam about 6 Klondike minis. Not every night. I'm exaggerating, but they're good. But I'm trying to get back into it, Every time I do one workout where I'm like, man, that was really tough, and then I talk to my brother and he, talks about how he fucking ran 20 miles as a warm-up or something, and then he had to, anytime somebody's talking about their workout and they use a word like rucksack or, something like that, where you're just like, I don't even know, where do you like get one of those? Did you buy that online? Is it, I mean, he's in the military, so I'm sure they gave it to you, but yeah, he'll like describe to me like a workout that he has to do. And by the end of the warm-up, I'm like, yeah, that's when I would stop my watch. Like if I did one of his warm-ups, my exercise ring on my Apple Watch would close. That's that's what his thing is, and that's what maybe I need to adjust my Apple settings. I could walk around the block for 30 minutes and they'd be like, "You did a good job. Like you're amazing." And guess what? You deserve to eat whatever you want, And I'm like, you're right, Apple Watch. It's nice to see a ring. Like, I get why they do that. They got the exercise. They have an exercise ring, and then there's a move ring. And I'm not really sure what the difference is. I get, like, one is just a general movement, And then they have the saddest ring of all, which is a stand ring. Yeah, if Did you meet your stand goal today? What? Like, that's how fat we are as a nation. We need to be motivated to fucking stand. I'll be honest, I don't always hit my stand goal. I don't always hit it. Okay? And it's not because I'm not doing anything that day. Like, I will be active. I just don't, you don't even realize it. Like, I'll get up in the morning and I walk and I have a water and I'll walk to Panera and I'll have a coffee, but then I'll sit down and have my coffee. And then I'll come back and I'll sit down and write a little bit and I do my writing. And then I walk over to my moped and I sit down on the moped and I travel into the city, to do a spot or something. And then I sit down in the back of the room. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of sitting that does happen. Like, if I don't do a workout that day, I really don't have much of a reason to stand, Maybe standing is overrated. Probably not. Have you ever heard, like, somebody say, sitting down, they say sitting is the new smoking cigarettes. I don't think that's true. Like, I've heard that multiple times, and that just sounds like some sexy parallel that somebody drew, that's a good headline. Sitting is the new cigarettes. All right. I don't think anybody, sits for a while and then, you get an MRI of your ass cheeks and they're coated with smoke or whatever. I know it's not a direct comparison, but you get what I'm saying. You're saying, like, sitting down is worse for you than smoking cigarettes is. Which, I don't know what kind of message that sends. It almost motivates smokers. They're like, oh, well, if I just stand a bunch, the cigarettes are actually healthy, right? Like, that makes me believe that you can counteract smoking with healthy standing habits, If that's the case, we really got to get that message out there because not a lot of people are taking that seriously. Because smoking is looked down upon like, oh, you're not being healthy. But sitting, that people don't look, that's not a good thing either, sitting down. It depends, If I see somebody sitting but they're in shape, I'm like, you're allowed to sit. But then there's some people who permanently, like, that's how they fucking move. They have, like, some chair that they push around. Those bother me, I'm all about, I get it. Everybody fucking struggles. But, like, when I see somebody in, like, a motorized wheelchair and they're not disabled, kind of bothers me, I don't know. I just don't know how you let it get to that point. Well, maybe something happened to them and they hurt their leg and then that's what. Yeah, maybe. I hate when, like, you try to make an argument and then someone just, like, comes with the most obscure 1 in a million thing of, like, well, maybe it's this. Yeah, it's most likely fucking not. It's most likely not that. Even if it is for that, most of the time, it's not. Most of the time, they're just fucking fat and they let themselves get that fat, and then they were like, one day they sat down, and they were like, that's enough. I give up. It's probably too much that they have to push the little fucking knob, forward. Like, these people that, you go to a grocery store somewhere not in the city, and, you sit down. They sit down in those the carts. Those and you know what? Also, those are the most miserable fucking people driving around. The people in those carts, they think everybody, they're, like there's such a thing as, like, the civilian right of way, like you're at a crosswalk or something. I swear to God, these fucking wheelchair people think that they have, like, double right of way. Everywhere they go. You're in the grocery store and they're trying to come down the aisle. They think that you should, just drop dead so that they can go past you. Because, I have a machine. I have to get past. It's like, hey, bitch, we're in the cookies and crackers aisle. You should fucking this is the reason you're in there. All right, I'm being a little mean. I know I'm being a little mean. I'm a little tired. I've had a long day, okay? Just bear with me. I've had a long day. I've had a little bit too much caffeine. Didn't get great sleep last night. What can you do? It's crazy, like, what good sleep used to mean to me versus what it means to me now. Like, back when I was fucking getting up, like, when I first moved to the city and I was working in the restaurant, and like I would get literally every single day, I'd get up at like 5 in the morning to go to work, and I was at work by 6, and then every other part of my day was the same. I would like leave work at like 3:30, I'd go out and I'd do some open mics, and then I would head back home and do it all over again. And I would get, it was like a good, if I got 6 hours, that was good. That means I went to bed at like 11 and I was being responsible. And then sometimes I would go to bed at like midnight. I'm like, I really got to go to bed. Waking up at 5, like only 5 hours of sleep. You don't even feel like you went to sleep. You wake up and you're just like, no way. There's no way that I was asleep. That's a fucking nap, dude. 5 hours, that's like a long nap. But if I got 6.5, dude, if I got 7, I was on the moon. Oh my God, I felt amazing. Or what I thought. Like my baseline feeling was so terrible. If I got 7 hours of sleep, I was like, I'm ready to fucking walk through a wall, And now I got 7 hours of sleep last night and I could barely function today. You know what it is? It's the eyes. You feel it when you don't get sleep, or like when you ate something bad, or if you drank and didn't get good sleep, you wake up and you just feel it behind your eyes. There's like a pressure where it feels like someone's just kind of pushing on the back of your eyes, trying to push your eyes out of your head. But at the same time, it's like there's pressure on the back of your eyes, and then someone's also trying to pull your eyelids down. I can't even do that right now because I might fall asleep. But yeah, I hate that feeling, and you're dehydrated, and your joints fucking, crinkle and crack because you didn't recover from anything. You just feel like utter dog shit. So that's how I felt this morning. And I still had to go out and do a bunch of things. I was supposed to go to a brunch, but couldn't because someone got COVID, so that whole thing got canceled. It's nice when something gets canceled, because it's going to get rescheduled. And it's, John Mulaney has that great bit about, canceling plans is the closest, I'll get to doing heroin. And it's very true. It is it's a really good feeling, to do that. So nice to knock that off the list. Oh, fuck. Oh, I'm going back to Maryland next week. So that should be fun. You ever go to like your hometown and you almost get like sucked back into the person that you were when you lived there? You know what I mean? There's like something about it that you just can't like escape. Especially like being in your house. Like you just become a kid, no matter how old you are. Like if you go in your mother's house, like you revert back to the kid that you were. And when everybody's around, like you just kind of take on those roles that you had as a kid. Does that make sense? I don't know. Like you become high school you. I almost had a bite of ramen. I have a cup of ramen on the side of my desk. Don't fucking judge me. God damn it, I kicked the camera. Hold on. Hold the fuck on. All right. Seeing the magic. There we go. Yeah. And for me, it's like going back to like a high school me, and high school me was a fucking disaster. Not a disaster, but just, you're just insecure and you don't know anything about the world, and you think you do, and you have this like fake confidence, and you're just, you're kind of insecure. And I've always had issues with like feeling like I have control over shit, like control over the situation. And I didn't know that was an issue of mine in high school. So I just had it and didn't know about it and didn't know how to like, God, man, I just wish I could go back. I've probably talked about this before. My buddy Ted has a great joke about how like I'm finally ready for high school. And I really do feel like that, man. I feel like I would go back and I'd crush it. I did so many things in high school that I would just never, like, I used to this is even like before high school. Like I became obsessed with, I was not like, I didn't have sex in high school. And I still would like, I'd always carry around condoms. Like I was that kid. Did anyone, like, was there a kid who like was not having sex, but just had like way too many condoms? Like way too many condoms for the no sex he was having. You know what I mean? Like, and it was like a thing that you wanted to show off almost. Like I need somebody to know that I have these. I have no use for these, but I kind of want to tell people that I have them, you know? It's kind of how I feel now about like owning a gun. Like I have no use for it. I don't ever need to use it, but I want to have one and I want to tell people about it, you know? Because it's just, you know, it's fun. I want people to know that I have them, just in case. I'll never need it, but just in case, I got them. And that's what condoms were for me. And I thought, like, I knew nothing about them either. It was almost like a collection. I'd collect them like they're fucking Pokemon, you know? I'm like, I got a banana flavored. What? Like, what? Flavored? Ugh. Flavored condom? Dude, if you need a flavored condom, what is happening? Nobody should be tasting a condom. Again, didn't know that. I didn't know anything about sex. I was just like, yeah, of course. Maybe that's what you do. I think you're supposed to like chew on them before you put them on. It like gets them stretched out or something, you know? I think what you're supposed to do is, I think you put your hand in there and it's like a treat before you put it on, right? That's what you do. Oh, dude, I was obsessed with condoms. Didn't need them. You go to like a Walgreens or some shit, they got that big line, you know, they got the big wall of all the condoms. They had the ribbed, you know, they had the for his pleasure, for her pleasure. Had them both, you know. They had like this one where it went like this, it went like straight, and then it went out really, really wide. Like if the top half was twice the width of the bottom half, and I was like, dude, some dicks are weird, you know? There were like so many of them. They just seemed cool. You know what it is? It's the fucking marketing, man. That's like the one like piece of marketing that kind of worked on me. Like they made it look cool. Everything else, like I wasn't the type of kid who like saw the commercial of the toy on the TV and I was like, I have to have that. But like, dude, condom marketing, I was like, yeah, gotta get it. You'll see like the rare commercial for some condoms and they just look like they're having a ball of a time. Like it's so cool. It's so awesome to use condoms. It's not. It's really not. But again, there's something cool about having them, you know? And then that feeling became the first time like you had like marijuana or something, or you knew somebody that had marijuana. Like they just were cooler when they like show it to you. They're like, yo, I got this. Like I'd do that with condoms. Like, hey bro, we're going to this party tonight. I got the condoms. Like, what is gonna happen? You're gonna go into this person's house that's, you know, someone's mother's house. What do you think? Go walk me through that. What do you think is gonna happen? You're gonna talk to some girl from your high school. First of all, you're just gonna talk to some girl. Yeah, sure. You had the confidence to do that. And then what? You're gonna challenge her to a game of beer pong or whatever and try to neg her and rib her and like riff and shit and then what? How do you drag her? Not drag her, that's the wrong verb. How do you you get her away from the rest of the party and then what? You go up to like the parents' bedroom and have sex? Cuz it's got to happen there. There's no way, you know, what am I bringing you back to my mother's house? Like, what was the fantasy? I don't know where did people have sex in high school? I guess, the only way to have sex was you had to be the one to throw the party when the parents weren't there, because then you have your own room. And then I guess, oh, dude, you know what kids should do? You know what kids should do now in high school is, because you got to be business oriented, right? Prepare for the world. The world's going to shit. The economy's in the shitter. You got to make money now. Here's what you should do if you're in high school. If you have the ability to throw a party because your parents go away or whatever, this is what you do. Let's say you got like a 4-bedroom house. You invite all the people over, and then you rent out rooms in your house for people to fuck in, It's like an Airbnb situation, but for high schoolers banging each other. And then you collect. Dude, you're telling me that kids wouldn't give you their fucking lawnmower money and their allowance that their parents gave them to have a chance to score? If you were going into a party and you knew you had a bedroom secured, you checked the app, you got the confirmation email, here's the key to the lockbox. You know what I mean? And you just walked into it like it was your own little Airbnb. Dude, that'd be fucking killer. You'd make a killing. I think that's just you're basically just turning it into a motel, but I think that's a good idea, Somebody do that. Somebody create that idea and run with it. I'm not in high school anymore, so I can't use it. But some high schooler should take that. Sharks, I'm offering 10%. Here's my business plan. And what are your sales initially? I've made $400,000 in the last year. Oh my God. That's the power. God damn it, I kicked the fucking camera again. I'm all flustered, folks. I'm all flustered. Seriously, I do think. What do you guys think? Do you think it's a good idea? I think it is. There's got to be someone that that has done that. I mean, kids are savvy in high school. They'll trade anything. You're trading, sexual favors for fucking homework and stuff like that. There was a lot of bartering in high school, was there not? Like, that was big with, like, lunches and shit. You traded lunches. I always had the fucking best lunches in elementary school because I was, when your dad's a chef, you get the best fucking meals out of anybody, You're going to come at me with fucking Lunchables? Dude, I'll spit in your face. Are you kidding me? Lunchables? I got a fucking shrimp salad on a baguette and a glass thing of Orangina or Saratoga. Not supposed to have glass at school. But yeah, why did I bring all that up? Oh yeah, just going home and feeling like you're sucked back into that world. And no matter like how much shit changes, there's like certain places, there's like memories baked into certain locations, like there's this house up the street where this girl used to live, and we, one night I snuck out and I was out till like 5 a.m, and my mom discovered that I was out and, threatened to kill me and everybody that I knew. And, you just don't forget stuff like that. And all those people have since moved on and live in other places. But it's like when I walk the dog or something, I walk by that house and I'm like, man, I remember that. It's so weird to like, you walk by certain places, like houses that you've been to that, like a childhood friend lived in, and now a complete stranger lives in there, and you're just like, I know the entire layout of that house. Like, you could almost fuck with somebody by, if they're outside their house, watering the flowers or whatever, you just go up and you start describe the outline and the blueprints of their house. That'd be fucking bananas, dude. Like when you go in, staircase is on the left, and you go to the top of the stairs, bathroom is second door on your left. The fucking handle's a little bit finicky. Like, you could really mess with some people. You could be a fucking creep. I was a little creep in high school, I think. I wasn't a creep. I was a lurker, I would like lurk in the back. If I was invited to a party, I would fucking lurk in the back. I couldn't just go. I wasn't confident enough to like just go out into the middle of the party because then I like started to talk to somebody, I'd probably get caught up. I don't know what to say. I had a lot of like peripheral friendships and relationships in high school. Like a lot of people, I had a weird level of like high school fame because everybody knew me, but nobody like knew. No, wait. Everybody knew who I was, but nobody knew me. That's a better way of putting that, you know? Because my face was out there. I did the morning announcements. I did the theater productions, which everybody in the school saw. I was the high school mascot for a whole lacrosse season. I just got my face out there in the public eye. So everybody knew who I was, but nobody knew me. So people felt like they could get into a conversation, but then it would die after like 3 sentences. Because it was like, oh, yeah, dude. Oh, you're the fucking mascot. It's so funny. Yeah, dude, that's so funny, dude. Oh, that's so funny. Do you remember when like kids went to high school, like they're all going through puberty, but every guy would just lower their voice to sound. Have I talked about this before? Like they would just lower their voice to sound like they're more of an adult. Like, nah, dude, yo, I fucking straight, yo, I gotta go to fucking math class, dude, because yeah, I didn't do the homework, dude. Yeah, you know, and like that mixed with the horrible fucking Maryland accent. Nah, dude, I forgot to do the homework because I was out on the boat with my dad, and you know, we didn't come in till late at night. You know, we didn't come in till late at night, and so I couldn't even do the homework. I went to Miss Selznick's class, and she was yelling at me, bro. Dude, thank God we had a fire drill, you know, because I didn't do the homework, bro. Ugh. God. There's so many people where I'm like, I wonder what the fuck they're doing now. I saw somebody, first of all, everybody, this is the year of like getting married. Everybody from my fucking high school is getting married. And like, you know, somebody just blinks back into your memory. We're like, oh, I forgot that you existed. And, man, some people are just not aging well, you know? I mean, look who's fucking talking. I'm sitting here, I'm a fucking pasty bald dude, but I feel like other than that, everything in my control, I've kept it together. But some people just have not, you know? They're like 2 years away from being one of these grocery market, scooter people, if you know what I'm saying. But what can you do? I'm sure it wasn't their fault. I'm sure they had an injury, and that's why they can't go to the workout class, and that's why they're in the chair. Okay, it's not because they lack discipline and from putting food in their face. It's fucking annoying. Anywho, folks, that is the podcast for this week. What's going on for this next week? If not much. Got a couple shows you can't come to even if you want to. Saturday, I'm doing 2 shows at a restaurant in Jersey City. If you're in Jersey and you're listening, come on out. I'm going to Dorian's in Jersey City. Some restaurant. I think the shows are at 6 and... No, they're at 7 and 9. No, 6:30 and 8:30. Jesus Christ. 6:30 and 8:30 at Dorian's if you're around. I'll be at New York Comedy Club on Sunday. And then going to Myrtle Beach for the World Series of Comedy Festival. So you can't go to that either. There is a Yarbar Comedy Show on the 25th. We haven't dropped the lineup yet. We'll drop it. It drops today as you're listening to this. I won't be there, so you're not going to come. But maybe if, you don't have anything going on, you should go anyway, if you're around. Because that'll be a good time. It always is. But yeah, until then, folks, just have a grand slam of a week. Don't drink and drive. Don't get fat and have it be your fault. And yeah, talk to you next week. Peace out. Bye-bye.